Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you how to make a wig on a ventilated wig cap. This is just going to be about sewing on the wig on a ventilated wig cap. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is adjust the cap. So what I did was I got the ventilated cap, folded the part that I want, maybe about like a ½ inch at the bottom, as you can see, and then I am pretty much going to sew it down, close it up on the sewing machine. All right. Okay, so right now here what we're going to do is we're doubling the tracks. Okay, so this is a very Afro Kinks hair from Heat Free Hair, and we are pretty much doubling the tracks. This was actually a client who sent this hair in, so it was not a lot of pieces, but it was just enough. So just gonna go through and show you doubling the tracks. You want to, as you can see, make sure you have one track above the other track. All right, because if you don't, it's going to be mad bulky, and then it's probably going to get stuck in the sewing machine. So you always want to have that. Now, I haven't done like 3 or 4 track doubling yet, but I'm going to try, and when I do, I'll definitely record it for you guys. Okay, so I am doubling back on the end, and how you want to double the track is you want to take the 2 ends that are separate, put them together, and that way you have the curve at the end will be, you just match it up. So as you can see, here we go, there's the curve on the left. All right, so that's how it should look. Now off we go to sewing on the machine. So I am pretty much sewing this here on a fully ventilated cap. Sometimes you have dome ventilated caps, you have partial ventilated caps. This is a full ventilated cap. So I already marked off my guidelines onto the wig cap, and what I use is an eye pencil, a white eyeliner pencil. All right, so this is what you're doing. You're just going really slow. You want to make sure you stay on the guidelines, okay? Do not digress from the guidelines, all right? Because then it's going to be all over the place, and then it's going to be uneven and everything. Now, if you go a little bit up, just stop the presser, lift the footer up on the needle, where the needle is, and try to adjust it back to normal so it's back on the guidelines. All right, so here we've already sewn a couple of tracks on already, so I'm just now sewing on, and I am back stitching. And what I do sometimes is I back stitch on the lines, all right, which I mean the actual ribbons. Okay, that's what I'm back stitching on, just so it's added support, because when you take the plastic off, all you're going to have are those ribbons to support the wig. So you just want to make sure there's added support just in case somebody's like pulling at the hair. Now this is very kinks, I think it's 4 kinks it's called, hair. So I doubt there's going to be a lot of combing going on, probably just some detangling. So if that's done, properly and nice and carefully, everything should be done, because you don't want to rip anything. And I mean by ripping, rip a ribbon by accident. You just don't want to do anything. It's a wig. You still have to be delicate. All right. So there we go with that side. Do not sew on the elastic straps. Be careful. When you get to the corners, be mindful of the elastic straps and just pay attention to where they are. Move them out the way. There's also like a little dip, a hook kind of material thing that looks like a loop, I should say. More of a loop. That's where you're going to put the elastic bands when you're finished with the wig. All right, that way they're not just hanging, strangling all over the wig. So after you do that, we're just continuing on. We're just continuing to sew. You just keep going. Now, these ear flaps, which I think that I'm on the ear flap section now. No, I'm not really. But if you notice, when you go to the ear flaps, right, there's this metal piece that allows the ear flap to bend, right? Okay, some people say they don't sew on that, but I sew on it. Now, I have been lucky that I have not broken my needle. Now, I broke my needle when I tried to sew on clips, all right, and combs. I have broke my needle. But what you're going to do, and it probably avoids it. It's not that big, it's not that thick, you know what I'm saying? So I would suggest going and sewing across it if you can. But if you break a needle, please, this is just, I do whatever you feel comfortable. If you feel that it's going to break a needle, don't do it. All right, I do it. That doesn't mean you have to do it. Let's just say that. I don't want anybody saying that I caused them to break a needle. Do what you feel, don't do what I say. Anyway, all right, so now we're just continuing to sew along the guidelines, and being that this hair is super thick, oh my gosh, once I started getting to the top, it was like but and then once I sewed the closure on, trying to get the hair on, woo, that was yeah, that was very interesting. All right, so we're just going around, and you keep going around. Make sure you pull the cap so it's not bunching underneath, that everything is still straight. Make sure that all of your ribbons aren't curling under the presser foot when you're sewing it, because you don't want, that's gonna, when you take the plastic off at the end, then it's gonna cause trouble. Now I should have showed you how to take the plastic off. While I'm sewing this, you can see I'm just gonna talk, doing the same thing that I've done before. Just keep watching and just listen to the commentary. Yeah, so it depends what plastic you have. Preferably for clients, I do like the full ventilated cap, but for my hands and for time, it's not time effective. It's just not. I mean, you can sit there, especially if you're doubling up on the ribbons, you can sit there for a good like 2 hours almost taking this out. You know what I'm saying? If you just now have single wefts and you just kept on going straight with a straight stitch, I'm using a zigzag stitch, by the way. Yeah, it might be a little easier to just rip them off, because as you can see, if you see closely, there are white lines, thread I should say, in between the ribbons. Yeah, at the end of that, you're supposed to pull the ribbon, the thread down and out, and then the plastic's supposed to release pretty much. But of course, it's going to be attached to the thread that you've sewn on, so you have to go in and take a tweezer pretty much and take the plastic from underneath the thread. All right, and that's where the time consuming part comes, is actually taking the plastic out from underneath thread that's really tightly wound and bound, I should say. And you know, yeah, it can be a lot. It can be a lot. All right, and you don't want to break or tear any thread, so you got to be careful. And it's this, and then it won't tear all the way through, it just tears partially. And oh my god, and it's very messy if you do it that way. But they do sell some that are dissolvable wig caps. I did buy one, but it was a little too short for me, so you know, but I'm still going to try to find some more. But this brand that I get it from Amazon. I really like it. It's durable, and these ventilated caps have like a soft kind of lining, a little felt kind of lining on the ear tabs and on the back, so it's not like rubbing against your forehead with that hard lace material. So I really dig that. That's really cool. All right, so we are almost coming to an end. I think I've done videos where I showed you how to close the closure up and everything like that. But when it comes to closing the closure up, it gets a little messy, and I would need a third party to actually record that for me, so you can see it, because it's like hair all on the right side and it's bunched up and you pretty much can't really see anything. But I'm going to try different angles for you guys, because I want you to get the full effect of it, you know. And here I am now. Yes, I'm going across the ear tab part, I believe. And if you can see where my hand is, you could see probably like, oh, I'll finish that, but there was the ear tab. So now I'm just showing you exactly what it looks like. All right, so here we go. This is the inside of the wig cap after I took the plastic off. I didn't put the elastic bands through the hoops yet, but as you can see, the plastic was taken off. The lace, the top material was cut off, so you can see the lace underneath. And there we have it. All right, well, thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, all right? And check out the other videos. Take care. Bye.